Todd Vandermeide, NRA's Illinois lobbyist, with us on the program right now. Todd, Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year, Cam. Long time no talk.
I know. How you been, man?
Chasing two monster bucks and not having any luck to get neither one.
I feel your pain. I do. I had some close encounters with some whitetail at the most inopportune times this year. I would be out with the dogs. I would not have my rifle with me, and I would have the perfect shot. And then, of course, every time I, was able to get up into a tree stand for a couple of hours, I wouldn't see a single deer. That was my season.
Well, I've been chasing a 190-inch 12-pointer for the last month and a half, and there's probably a 160-inch 8 that I've got my sights on. But I've seen them. They just don't come close enough with a bow.
Yeah, well, good luck to you. Now, in the meantime, a lot of stuff going on for gun owners around the state of Illinois. The state police have started to accept concealed carry applications, and already thousands of individuals are signing up.
It's safe to say that more people have completed their applications and signed up for Obamacare in the first days. So we've had 14,000 people complete their applications.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, the state is saying, they estimate about 400,000 applicants the very first year, and that in itself, Todd, would be a very big number. But I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw more than that.
Yeah, there's still some glitches with the way they're interpreting personal law, so we'll see. But I think, you consider that in the first 2 days, we're off to 14,000 applicants. I was at an event last night, talked to a number of people, and they said that they were just waiting to get through their class because the weekend classes seem to be fairly booked up, and a lot of people can't take time off during the week.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and as you say, I mean, these glitches that we've seen right now, no glitches that rise to the level of healthcare.gov glitches, right?
No, they what they actually did is they started a soft rollout tail end of December with the instructors to try to get them working through the system, and we've actually had a very good line of communication with the state police as people are emailing me problems. Now, not all the problems are on the state police end. Some of the problems are with Central Management Services, the agency that oversees other parts of computer systems and other information. So, you've got multiple cogs of these gears that need to mesh together, and they don't always mesh real well. So, but I've been... of the dozens and dozens of emails I'm getting from people, I keep kicking them up to our contacts in state police, and I've been getting a pretty good success rate with people getting things ironed out.
All right, now let's talk about, speaking of ironing out a few things, the attempt to iron out and perhaps straighten out the city of Chicago when it comes to its gun laws. We had a federal judge yesterday tell the city, no, you can't ban gun stores. If you have a right to keep and bear arms, it makes sense that you have a right to actually acquire those firearms. And, Todd, the totally not anti-gun, totally just, they love the Second Amendment. They're just in favor of a few common sense gun safety reforms. These folks are fighting tooth and nail to prevent a gun store from actually being able to open up in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, they have been. This is just another nail, if anything, for a hunting season. We've had a pretty good season hunting Chicago's ordinance. There's not much of it left now. But not only did it go after the ban on retail shops, it also went after the ban on private transfers that they had that said nobody inside the city limits could transfer a firearm. So, it's a nice win, and I think that it capitalizes on, Shepherd or McDonald and Ezell, and even mentioned Moore and Shepherd in there. Seventh Circuit has become a pretty good spot for us to litigate some of these Second Amendment issues. And who would have thought that an Obama appointee to the federal bench would be siding with us on Second Amendment issues as a pure constitutional claim? I mean, that just tells you how out of whack and how out of focus and how bad Chicago's ordinance is.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this isn't a matter of regulation. This is a matter of, as I said, trying to keep people from exercising their rights. And it's not just with the provisions that make it impossible for a gun store to open up. I mean, Todd, we've seen the city make it impossible for a range to be established, even though they too wanted to require folks to have range time in order to own a gun. They didn't want a range in the city of Chicago. I mean, all of these aren't really public safety measures at all. They're simply burdens for people to have to try to meet in order to exercise a fundamental right.
Well, what there is bans. They couldn't uphold their ban on handguns and other things before, so now they want to try to create a ban vis-a-vis regulation. And the real question, I think, is, you had the McDonald case, then Daley came up with his new ordinance, and the first part that really got litigated on that was the range ban. And then the General Assembly knocked out a bunch of their other parts of the ordinance with registration and stuff because of the carry law, which came about because of a challenge to a prohibition on carrying, which Chicago had as well. And now you have the ban on transfers and gun stores. In the Ezell case, one of the justices said that it wasn't about safety, it was about them thumbing the municipal nose at the court. And one has to wonder at what point in time the court is going to just say, you guys aren't just thumbing your nose, you're in contempt.
Yeah. Let's, and again, I guess it's up to the city, as to whether or not they actually want to try to push that and see where that point lies. I mean, I got to say, if I were a judge, it would have come long before now, because it seems clear that the intent of the city leaders is to not to comply with these decisions, not to comply with McDonald, certainly not to comply with the spirit of it, but again, to try to make this as meaningless a right as they possibly can.
Yeah, and we'll see where they're going to go with this. I think they would be foolish to appeal this based on the Ezell decision, but evidently the city seems to feel that they have more money than sense. They're out there beating their chest today about it. We'll see if they follow through on an appeal. If they do, maybe we'll get an even more strident decision out of the Court of Appeals. And if they want to run this all the way up to the Supreme Court, then okay, let's go. When we get up there, we do pretty well once they take the case. So we'll see where they're going to go. But I think that this is part of the death rattle that you hear coming out of the gun control movement. I mean, they were in a couple of newspaper stories yesterday. They were moaning pretty loud about how it is that if we pass a carry law, we come back and work on loosening it up, and that what we can't get through the legislature, we go to court and seem to be doing pretty well on. So I think that, the Seventh Circuit seems to be a bright spot in our litigation so far.
Seems that way. Listen, Todd, appreciate you coming on the program, sir, and good luck with the Bucks.
We're going to try. We've got about a week left, so we'll see what's going to happen there, Cam.